Hello everyone. Uh, am I clear now? Has anybody joined? Is the class going fine now? Am I clear now? Anybody there? Again, I don't know why it is getting stuck. So if you guys are still there, can you please now mention, is it clear? If my voice is clear, audible, or the video is still getting stuck? If it's fine, then we can start, right? So 4-5 people at least mention if it's still getting stuck or is it fine right now. Fine, so I'll begin the class. Nikhila, Asha. Okay. So can you please mention at what point the video got stuck? Did I started this till this Himalayas we were discussing till this? Was it fine? So we have discussed Himalayas. We were to discuss this formation of Himalayas. So उससे पहले तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुआ था, उस तब तक सब ठीक था. Fine. So we will begin with this formation of Himalayas, right? So we talked about कि how Himalayas were formed. So हमें ये बात करना है. So we know कि Himalayas, when this Gondwana land, earlier Indian peninsula, it was part of the Gondwana land, right? And as the tectonic activities, as the tectonism, these forces, they are active, right? So the what happened? The Gondwana land, it broke off. The Indian peninsula also broke off from the Gondwana land, right? And somewhere during Cretaceous period, Jurassic period, Indian peninsula moved over the Indian Ocean. It moved over the reunion hotspot, right? And while Indian peninsula was drifting over, it drifted, and finally it collided with the Eurasian plate. So Eurasian plate lied in the north, while the Indian peninsula was approaching it from the south, right? This plate of Indian peninsula, it was moving upwards. So what happened कि सबसे पहले क्या होता है, when the Indian peninsula it strikes this Eurasian plate, what will happen? This part, जो Indian peninsula का ये वाला part है, right? The northwestern part, it strikes the Eurasian plate first. तो सबसे पहले जो northwestern part of the Indian peninsula है, that strike the Eurasian plate first, right? After that, this if I show you, so this is Eurasian plate. This is the, if I talk about the northwestern part, so वहाँ पर पहले strike होता है, right? And later on ये plate जो है, ये it rotates anti-clockwise rotate करती है, and later ये पूरा का पूरा like जैसे डोर शट करते हैं हम, उसी तरीके से प्लेट यहाँ पे रोटेट करती है, पेनिनसुलर प्लेट. एंड फाइनली व्हाट हैपेंस कि ये यहाँ पर ऑन द ईस्टर्न साइड इट स्ट्राइक्स, एंड फिर हमें जो तो सबसे पहले यहाँ पे क्या, ऑन द नॉर्थ वेस्टर्न साइड द इंडियन प्लेट स्ट्राइक्ड फर्स्ट. सो इसलिए वेस्टर्न हिमालयस दे वर फॉर्म्ड फर्स्ट. एंड इफ यू टॉक अबाउट कि ईस्टर्न हिमालयस दे आर फॉर्म्ड लेटर, right? These are they are formed later. Why? Because the Indian plate, the peninsular plate, that striked on the eastern part later. So इसलिए जो eastern mountains है, eastern Himalayan mountains, they have formed later, right? So you can see in this diagram कि around 16 centimeter per year this plate basically moved away in the Indian Ocean. These are the different time scale. 55 million year ago Indian plate it didn't strike, right? And finally यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हो, this is the Eurasian plate, and this particular part of the plate Indian जो Himalayan जो peninsular plateau है, peninsular plate है, it is striked at this end first and later on यहाँ पर strike होता है बाद में, right? So इस तरीके से ये पर्टिकुलर प्लेट यहाँ पर कोलाइड करती है, कन्वर्ज करती है, एंड हिमालयाज दे आर अपलिफ्टेड. हिमालयाज जो है वो अपलिफ्ट होते हैं. सो दीज प्लेट्स दे कन्वर्ज एंड व्हाट हैपेंस, दीज हिमालयाज आर अपलिफ्टेड. नाउ देयर आर डिफरेंट रेंजेस, अलग अलग रेंजेस हमें मिलती हैं. अगर हम बात करें ग्रेटर हिमालयाज है, फिर हम बात करें उसके बाद कौन से हिमालयाज है, लेसर हिमालयाज आर देयर, देन शिवालिक हिमालयाज आर देयर. सो वाई देयर आर डिफरेंट रेंजेस. सो अगर हम सबसे पहले बात करें जो इंडियन प्लेट है, इंडियन प्लेट, some part of it had geosyncline. Geosynclines are basically the remnants of the larger seas. Larger seas के remnants होते हैं, उनको geosynclines कहते हैं. So geosyncline, Indian plate was also having a geosyncline called Tethys Sea, right? So while the Indian peninsula, it moved towards the Eurasian plate. It is the Tethys Sea. टेथिस सी की जो प्लेट है, टेथिस सी ये जो है इट स्ट्राइक फर्स्ट, ये पहले स्ट्राइक करता है. कैन यू प्लीज वेट फॉर अ मिनट, आई जस्ट हैव टू टेक दिस कॉल. Am I still clear to some people or my video is still getting stuck? I think there is some technical issue from. So some people, they are able to see the class, some are not able to see the class. So in that case, I will end the stream now. I have conveyed the message to the technical team. They are looking into the problem because there are no network issues on my side. So those who can see the class, it will be informed to you अगर class restart होती है. Otherwise, abhi for now I'm stopping the stream because there are few people who cannot see the class. So You can check again in around 15 minutes if the class will restart, then you can join again, and if it will not restart, then sorry for the glitch, there is some technical problem. Okay, so you can rejoin and take a look if after 15 minutes the class is restarted or not. Otherwise we can do it tomorrow.